Hi Flosstube, I'm Bonnie Claire. This is my channel Stitched Lit, and this episode's all about cross stitch. I know it's whip parade season right now, and so if you want to watch my whip parade, go back to my last two videos. I think I filmed them September-ish. Those are my whips. It's hardly changed since then. This video is all about my recap from 2025 and my plans for 2026. So we're going to go over what my goals were for this year, which I consider creative goals to be very loose. It's my place to be free, but it's still fun to look at what I had in mind for the year and what I actually did. And then I'll show you what my loose plans are for next year. My first thing for 2025 was to finish 25 things. So in 2024, I actually finished 25. So I was like, oh, I can do 25 in 2025. Spoiler, I didn't. We'll get to that. And then I had this Noah's Ark Precious Moments project that had sat for very many years, and then I finally picked it up and set a goal to finish it in 2024, and I was so close by the end of the year. So 2025, my goal was to finish the Noah's Ark Precious Moments, and then I wanted my focus piece to be Hawk Run Hollow. Spoiler, it didn't happen. And then I wanted to kind of bust through some of my Samantha Purdy stash. So let me show you a rundown. We'll get a tally of finishes at the end, but it's less than 25. And we'll go through my other goals. So first, my focus piece was going to be the Hawk Run Hollow. I barely touched it. Nothing like putting pressure on something to make me want to run away. So this was Village of Hawk Run Hollow, which I know you've seen before because I'm personalizing it to my family history a little bit. Maybe this part's new, but it might not even be new from when I last showed it on here. So that hasn't come along as much. And it's not that I don't like it, but another goal that I didn't write down that just kind of happened last year was I decided to make cross-stitch gifts for each of my siblings. And so that kind of took things over a little bit. There's one goal that didn't happen, or now we know two. Next, we have a success story. So my Precious Moments Noah's Ark. I actually finished this on January 1st, 2025. So here it is. And I added my children's names into the cloud so that it's sort of like a birth record, I guess. I don't know. It's just their names, not details. But I started this when I was 10 or 11. I don't remember exactly. And then it went through periods where I'd work on it and didn't, and then finally finished. So this was my oldest whip. My other goal was busting through the Samantha Purdy stash. I think I did a total of 3 or 4 Samantha Purdy patterns. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we'll go through them. So, I'm happy with that. It wasn't as much as I thought I would do. Let's go through everything I finished. You just saw the first one, the Noah's Ark. Some of these were gifts, so I'm going to have to insert pictures. But the next one I did, this was a Samantha Purdy. It's called Matching Coats. I actually haven't totally finished because there's little buttons that you sew on for her coat. And I work at an antique store, and so I just keep an eye out for a button that's small enough. I haven't found any tiny enough yet. But when I do, I'd prefer to have like a red button, I think. I think that would be really cute. Or to match the orange. Well, no, it's got to match her coat. So I think red buttons. Okay, the third one, I'm going to insert a picture. It was a gift for my sister. And this is Vegetable Soup by Samantha Purdy. That sister that I made it for is an amazing cook, so it just suited her. And it's off living at her house now. It's kind of crazy to think this was a year ago, but the fires were going on in LA. And I was planning on stitching all these cities in the order of places I've been with my husband. And so our first trip we took together after we got married was to California, Southern California. So I started stitching this for that, and then I pretty much was stitching the whole time watching the news of everything that was going on out there. So that's my pretty little LA tribute. The next one, I'll have to put in a picture because I can't find it right now. It's buried in my whip somewhere, but it's Abraham Lincoln, and I stitched this while watching the Civil War documentary by Ken Burns. And my plan, this is why it's still in a whip somewhere, is it's a duo pattern. There's also George Washington, and I was thinking I would stitch George Washington when I watched the Revolutionary War documentary that was coming out in November of this year, which I haven't finished, partly because I'm waiting to watch it when I can actually stitch George Washington while watching it. So I just thought that was a fun way to stitch while stitching on theme, I guess we'll say. I don't know where this went. This, my life's organized chaos, to say the least. It is by Night Spirit Studio, and it's called He, She, or They Use My Scissors to Cut Paper, and I did he because I'm surrounded by he's in my family. I'm distracted right now because there's a cardinal at our bird feeder. And you know what I realized? I have a bird feeder, but I forgot to put the little perch things down for the bird to perch on. So I'm gonna have to adjust that later, make it easier for the birdies to eat. I'll edit out that long pause of bird watching. Next was a gift for another sister. It's a little family portrait. I'll just put in a picture because that lives with her now. My youngest children's room is Winnie the Pooh themed. I have, over the years, picked up a few vintage pieces. I like the truly vintage Winnie the Pooh before it became all Disney. And so that kind of artwork is in their room. And this was something I stitched for their room. And in a little bit, I'll show you the book that I got this from, because I'm doing another piece for another sibling from that book. Okay, next is another missing one somewhere. It's so small, so it could be anywhere. And it's a train that it was almost ridiculous not having it done. And I want to do all of them. They're all kind of transportation themed, vehicle themed, and so I'll probably do them all and finish in a grid or something because it's a set of 4. I'm super distracted by my birds right now, and I'm loving watching them, but I also feel bad because I forgot to put the little perch thing down, so they're just like hanging on the edge of the bird feeder eating their food. But they're very capable, so good job, birdies. This one is for my mother-in-law. She got to do a trip to Australia this year? Might have been this year, might have been last year. So I stitched Pretty Little Sydney for her, Pretty Little Sydney by Satsuma Street. It was actually my first time stitching something for her because sometimes it's hard to know what someone's style is. And when she had this trip of a lifetime, I was like, okay, we can give you Sydney. This one I had started so long ago with, I was doing a series of these with Christina from Petals and Pins, or also known as Quilting with Nico on Etsy. And we did the winter one together, and then I think this was next, right? No, we did spring, of course, because that's the order of the seasons. We did winter, we did spring. I had finished those a while ago, and then I finally finished summer this year, and she's finished all of them. So I just have autumn left, which is barely started. But these are by Alicia Paulson. Posey is her business name. And next was another Samantha Purdy. This one's called Beach Umbrella. I just love that little seagull. Look at him. Looking for a snack. Birds in the Bow. It's from the Regina Hable sampler by... I can't remember who did that right now off the top of my head. Oh, I think it's With Thy Needle and Thread. Brenda Gervais. But I love it. This is kind of the direction I'm moving in terms of my taste, is like elegant, fancy. But I'm in very polar opposite worlds because I love Satsuma Street. Some of these really cutesy modern Samantha Purdy, Satsuma Street. But then I do feel like overall I'm wanting things like this. And so samplers, reproduction samplers, those kind of things are really just appealing to me right now. And oh, something cool that's kind of happened. I think I discovered Satsuma Street back in 2014 and have bought almost everything as it's been released over the years, with a few exceptions. But I would always jump in on the mystery sales, and one that I did that I ended up not loving was the 4 Elements sal. And so I had all the stuff, and I had started it, but it's just kind of sat there. And then one of my sons wanted to do some cross-stitching, and so I gave him some options. There's one of my children. So I gave him some options, and he really was drawn to the 4 Elements sal, so it's kind of fun that he'll finish that for me. And that's what happened with this Noah's Ark Precious Moments. My mom or my sister started it, and they were like, yeah, I'm not going to finish this. So I did it. So it's kind of fun passing it on. Next 2 finishes were also a gift. So it was for another sister's birthday. They're a very hiking, mountain biking kind of family. So I did a mountain scene. And then also just right around that time, they lost a dog. So I did a memorial piece for their dog. And on this one, I think in the original chart, there was a year in the dog, but I changed it to be the dog's name. These are the Summer Trio patterns from With Thy Needle and Thread. I was doing a little stitch along with my local stitching group. I'm the worst stitch along member. If anyone stitched with me, you know. But I did finish this one. This was just part 1. I want to do all 3. So I finished part 1 in the Summer Trio. I love it. It's just dainty and cute. There's more cross stitch to come, but we're going to pause and appreciate some other crafts for a little bit. Wait. My count is off. I did another gift for my sister. It was another family portrait. So let me put in a picture of that. I just realized now my count's going to be off. So I need to remember to +1 my total. And then I had started stitching Pretty Little Seattle for my brother. And it was right around then that my stitching bug died. It was back to school time. Our schedules were so crazy that the fall we have things almost every day. So I just didn't stitch, didn't really want to. But it didn't mean I didn't want to do creative things. So I kind of shifted gears and started a new craft. And I'll show you what I ended up doing. Okay, I love thrifting. I love antiques and stuff. And one time at a thrift store, I found a box of pre-cuts. They were little tiny squares. And so I got it with no intention of starting it soon. And I had set it on my desk where my sewing machine is. And my toddler got into it and was just dumping the fabric everywhere. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll just start this right now. That's what spurred me to start sewing. And so I started sewing them together, and then my older sons, they came in and saw it, and they were like, I want to learn how to do that. And so I started teaching them how to use the sewing machine, and it became a family project. We just would sew together and watch reality TV shows, and it was just time I got to spend with my sons. So this turned into such a special project for me. And this was the first one we did. I'm going to insert a picture so you can see the full thing. But I just wanted to give you a taste here. So these are my thrift store fabrics. And some of them you can really tell like that they're older. They look very 1970s, some of these browns and stuff. But it was just very random, just sewing squares together. And someone in my local stitching group has a long arm. And so she did the final quilting. And since I had done this with 2 boys, I was like, well, maybe we should make another so that each of you can have a quilt, because you've both been helping make them. So I had my own pre-cuts from old charm packs and stuff. And so I took those and we made a second quilt. And with this one, the boy who ended up getting it actually helped me with it more. But this one's his. So this is mostly newer fabrics on here. But it's just, this ended up being such a special project. Since my older 2 ended up getting a blanket, which they were Christmas gifts, I thought, well, I can't leave the other 2 children out, so I made 2 little blankets for my youngest 2. So this one I did all by myself. I've had this fabric for a while. It's Hungry Caterpillar. One thing you should just know about me is I love children's books and collect them. So I have this Eric Carle Hungry Caterpillar, and on the back is artwork from Brown Bear by Eric Carle. And then with my youngest, he just loves soft. And so I had this kit where all you do is you sew on the binding. So sounds easy, but it was a new skill to learn. But yeah, you just put the sides together and sew the binding. But each kid ended up getting a blanket. So that was my big crafting detour when I didn't feel like stitching at all. I did a little felting, not really felting. What do you call it? Because it's not needle felting this, but I made these little penguins. Aren't they so cute? And here's another one. He just wants to say hi all the time. His arm's always up. And this one. So 2 of my boys had the flu over Christmas. And so I put these in their room as a little buddy to keep them company. So they may be sick penguins. And then this one, I'm just always encouraging my husband to decorate his office. So I was like, you can put this in your office if you want. We'll see if he does. I don't know. Now, back to stitching. I finally got the desire to stitch back. It was a few months off. So, in December, I had some of the new Satsuma Street ornaments from this year that I just adored. So I had to do those. This one is called Rooftop Rumpus. It is so funny and cute. I love him so much. So yes, I had to do that when that came out. And then there's another one from this newest release ornament called Snow Place Like Home. It's this one. So I've cut them out. I haven't put the backing on or turned it into an ornament yet. Christmas is over, so I have time. That's that one. Kaylee, I don't think you watch this, my sister. But if you do, don't watch this part. Okay, so I made this for her. And I got a cute little frame at the antique store. And just did this one for her. Because I didn't feel like I had time to do all of them. But I thought I'd show you the book. I think I've shown it to you before. Storybook Favorites in Cross Stitch. This is why you need to know that I'm a children's book lover. And this one, Winnie the Pooh. I did all of them for my own children's room. And then I just asked her favorite character and did that one for her. Because she has kids too. But I think we're all a little nostalgic about Winnie the Pooh. If I'm telling right, I had 20 finishes. So when you think that I took about 3 months off of stitching, I'm very happy with myself with 20 finishes in 2025. Plus 4 blankets. So yeah, I'm never really disappointed in myself for creative, crafty things at all. No, I don't think you should be for hobbies. It's just an outlet for fun and you do it because you want to, right? That's the recap for last year, this year. It is the last day of 2025, so depending on when you watch this. Okay, plans for 2026. I just kind of threw out, sure, I'll try to finish 26 and 26. We'll see. We'll just see. Things I definitely want to get done this year. I have 3 gifts I need to finish. I am doing Berlin, Pretty Little Berlin. I Satsuma Street. I'll show you. This is how much I have. So this is a gift for a friend, which I'm going to Germany this year, so I want to finish it before I see her in Germany. Then I want to finish Seattle for my brother, because it was supposed to be for his birthday last September. So maybe we can get it to him for his birthday this year. And then my other brother, I did not stitch him a birthday gift yet, so that'll also have to be for this year. But I'm doing Amsterdam, which I've done for me, so I'll show you what it looks like. This is Pretty Little Amsterdam from Satsuma Street. It's one of my favorites. I love the color palette. It's just cute and fun. There is, when I framed it, there's like this tiny fiber in here that's just there. One of these days I need to take it out and fix that. But it also makes me laugh. So for now it stays. That's not all. So I have this really cool, have I told you enough that I like vintage and antiques and stuff? So I have this old magazine. wall hangings and paintings, pictures. But inside is the coolest thing, and it's these monthly scenes. So this is January's. It looks like a lot of stitching, but it's actually not full coverage. So this one you would do on white probably, because you don't stitch all that snow. This one you would probably stitch on green. You don't stitch all the grass, etc. So that my goal for 2026 is to stitch each of these per month. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I at least want to start each one. So there's February. Do you want to see them all now? There's March. There's April. If you don't want to see and you just want to see it as I go, just skip over this part. Here's May, June, July, right there. August is over 2 pages. Oh, this reminds me of the houses where I lived. Okay, September, all the apples. October, what is that? Grapes? Is it a vineyard? In November and December. So they're just so cute. So I wanted to do one of those each month. That's my main goal for next year. This year I do want to focus on like using and appreciating the stuff that I have and not always get distracted by the next new thing. The other piece I want to work on, I don't expect to finish it this year by any means, but this is an important piece to me. Mother's tree from, was it Lavender and Lace? And I'm doing it all in black. I've already cut it to size. I've already planned it out. And now we just need to stitch it. But my mom is very diligent about researching family history. She's just interested in that. And then also, like, my grandmother, my mom's mom, is 97. And she's my last living grandparent. And so part of me is kind of like, I would love to finish this while she's still around. I would love for her to see it, but whether or not, she's doing great, so she might be. But that's kind of like another push for me, is she's currently living with my mom. I'd love to see it in their home where they can both see it together, and we'll have many generations of women represented on the chart. So it's just totally a sentimental thing for me. You saw I have a lot of things finished, but I haven't framed them or done whatever final steps for them. So that's something I'd love to do, is just fully finish more of my things, because that pile's growing. And then, like, I need to pick up a new hobby. I am. Just 2. So I got this needlepoint canvas, and there's one other that's from Goodnight Moon. And by now, I love children's books, so I wanted to do these 2 needlepoint. And I don't know a lot about needlepoint, but there's a lot of flexibility in the stitches you can do. It seems like I can kind of just do what I want. And truly, I'm not the kind of person who cares if it's right or wrong. So if it works for me. But with this one, it'd be fun if you know the book. The texture of the bunny is very soft. It's an interactive kind of book. So I want to get a thread that's really soft and mimic that in the finish of this. And I have a room with all the children's books, and decor around it is related to children's books, so these would definitely go in that room. Those are my plans. I am almost done, but I wanted to put this out there to see what you think. I've always hesitated showing some of my vintage European cross-stitch stuff that I have, because I feel bad if you get really excited and want it and you can't find it. It can be disappointing. It's a passion of mine, collecting some of this vintage European, specifically Danish and German are my favorite cross-stitch things to find. And so I was just curious if that's something you'd want to see. I could do kind of a book and pattern parade of some of those things. I thought I'd just give you a taste of some of my stuff. And if you can find it and you love it, then that's great. I don't really know piece to piece. I'm so glad I told you I love children's books, so this makes sense. Beatrix Potter needlepoint book. I love this. Right there. And I just got this on Thrift Books. I think there are more than one, but for most things I just don't know, and so you'd have to look on eBay and stuff. When I'm in kind of like a lull or a busy time of my life and I'm not stitching much, I could still participate in Flosstube by showing you some of those kind of things. I mean, there's plenty of patterns to source to show you. So let me show you some pictures from this book. I've got these squirrels. So I have an antique fireplace frame thing that has a cool piece of embroidery in it, but I was thinking of doing my own stitching. Not this one, but that's just one of my plans that's out there, of putting my own stitching in it. So there's the cat cushion and the kitty. There's a cute little mouse one. So anyway, there's a taste of that book. And then the other one I'm absolutely in love with. So this is Berta again. And it's lots of different crafts, lots of different hand work. And it is just an absolute treasure to me. Like, look at some of this. Okay, what's this craft called? Someone needs to tell me about this, because I love that. But let me show you my favorite one. This, look at that. That, as well as this. Oh, there go the patterns. So, isn't it amazing? I think it's amazing. And then there's a little bird one somewhere in here that I loved. These guys. So, anyway, that's just a taste of the things I get so excited about. Yeah, I think that's everything for you today. So let me know what kind of things you'd like to see if I'm not necessarily stitching. And I'm going to go put out the kickstand so my birds have a little perch, because they actually eat from our bird feeder. And I hope you all have a great new year. I will see you in 2026. Bye!